Hi everyone, this is Marco.
Alessio.
And now we're gonna review something very different. Not hard rock or heavy metal like usual review, but now we're gonna review
The prog.
Yes.
With the Genesis.
Yes, with Genesis. Everyone say, hey, start to Trespass. No, I know that Trespass is regarded as the first Genesis album, but the really truly first album was an album called From Genesis to Revelation, which as an album I think it's good. It's pretty good, but it really is a grower. When I first heard it, some song was like, what the fuck is this shit? Trespass, but now it really got me. I think it's a really good album. So yeah, the story was that initially Peter Gabriel and Tony Banks were as Mike Rutherford and Anthony Phillips were in a school called Charterhouse, and they develop the passion, the music passion music. And initially Anthony Phillips and Mike Rutherford were in a band called Akon or Akon.
But it was formed in the 1960s.
Yes, early 60s. And Peter Gabriel and Tony Banks were another band which I do not remember the name. But initially Peter Gabriel plays drums, and occasionally even sometimes nowadays, I mean. But later on, the group, Akon and Tony Banks and Peter Gabriel create a band that at that time I don't remember the name. Not Genesis, another name, but
was Mother. No.
Oh, okay, whatever. So then the first four pieces of the band start, and initially the lead singer was Anthony Phillips, but then later on Peter Gabriel took his place because he has an amazing voice and much better than Anthony Phillips. really much better. So yeah, later on a pedophile called Jordan King. Yes, he's a pedophile. Really, yes. He went in jail because he raped a little kid. So later on, he starts to dig in the band, and what they first need, other than a record deal, was a title, a band title. And initially the band was supposed to be called the Gabriel Angels, but the band was like, what the fuck is this? No. Give me another name, Jonathan. And Jordan King decided to call the band Genesis because, in his opinion, this band was like
the Bible.
No, not for this, because Genesis means the beginning, and Genesis, in his opinion, means the beginning of the Jonathan King star career. But he didn't do shit. So they record a single called Silent Sun. With a drummer called Chris Stewart, but he later on he wasn't a good drummer. So later on, during the recording of the album, another drummer called John Silver took his place, and the single didn't do nothing on the charts, and so the album was a huge flop. Nobody cares about the new band. And the album from Revelation.
First, from Genesis to
the people don't give a fuck about the album.
Sense, really.
So that was enough backstory. Let's get to the song. The first song, what the fuck the name is? Where the sour turned to sweet. What do you think about that song? I think it's brilliant.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good, but to me, it's like a Bee Gees song. Early Bee Gees, because if you know Genesis for Trespass, Nursery Crime, Singing in Mother Pound, or Foxtrot, even The Lamb, this album is like, what the fuck, is this really Genesis? Yeah, to me, there are a couple Genesis, okay, I mean, there's some, tell us.
The beginning is always the same.
Yeah, but in some songs there are some little parts that reminds me of later Genesis. But overall, it's really not really a Genesis album. In fact, the band dismisses the album when they released a box set. The various box set 1970 to 1975, 1976 to 1982, and blah 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 blah.
Wait,
The first album was Trespass, not this one. But later on, this album was repackaged so many times that you know. So the first song is with Went Out to Sweet. I can't even pronounce it. I think it's a pretty good song. It was a groover, and what I really loved about this whole album is Peter's voice. If it wasn't for this voice, this album would be not as good.
I agree with you, Peter's voice.
This album is brilliant. What do you think about in the beginning?
Not a good one.
It's good one. The part kind of bores me a little bit,
Yeah,
but
it's nice.
it's nice. Yes, it's a good song. Don't have a problem. What do you think about Fireside Song?
First song, much better.
Yeah, good, better than in the beginning, but it's a good song. What do you think about The Serpent?
No, probably one of my least favorite.
Oh, you're wrong. This is by far the best song on the album. This song reminds me. There's some little parts that remind me of later Genesis, but yes, to me this by far the standout tracks of this album. And as I already say, I really do love Peter Gabriel's voice. What do you think about Am I Very Wrong? Am I very wrong?
Brilliant. Peter's voice.
As always.
Always the same.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song. Do you think this is the best song on the album?
For me, yeah, probably.
Good choice.
Probably.
One of my favorites, but definitely my favorite. The Serpent would be my number one. Yeah, it's a really good song, but it's kind of depressing. Am I very wrong?
But Peter,
Yeah, he saves the whole album to me. What do you think about In the Wilderness?
Another good one.
Yeah, music. All I need is music. Yeah, it's definitely not Genesis, but it's a song. It's a pop song. It works. It works really good. What do you think about The Conqueror?
Good one.
Good songs, nothing more to say, just good. What do you think about In Hiding?
No, I don't remember well this one.
Another good song. But I mean, this whole album is just good and a couple great songs. What do you think about One Day?
Probably one of my less favorite.
Good song, probably my fourth favorite. What do you think about Wendell?
No, I don't like much this one.
As I already say, good song, not great, not bad either, just good. What do you think about In Limbo?
Good one.
Yeah, this one is a pretty good song. Nothing earth-shattering, but good, just good. What do you think about Silent Sun? The first single of the band.
First single. Yeah, sounds good. Guitar sounds good.
Where are the guitar on this single? Nothing guitar.
No, sorry, I confused it with another one.
So, tell us.
No, I don't remember well this
Where
one.
it was the first single, and as I already say, didn't do shit.
Much time ago.
And rightfully so. I have to read it. Silent Sun is one of my favorites, probably my third favorite. Yes, as I already say, it's not a Genesis song. It's a good pop song. It's a great pop song. But compared to Trespass, it's a fucking piece of shit. This whole album, I mean. What do you think about the last song, A Place to Call on My Own?
No, I don't know this one.
No. In Limbo will be my least favorite, and A Place to Call on My Own would be my second least favorite. It's a 2 minute, kind of 2 minute song. It's good, but really not that great. Just good. So this album contains a lot of B-sides and blah blah blah, but we will talk about later. We don't spoil the other things. So now we're gonna move to the what everyone, and rightfully so, think that this is the first Genesis album, an album called Trespass. This is the last album. Amazing album, yes. This is the last album that featured the late great Anthony Phillips on guitar, then later on solo career. And the reason why he left Genesis because he suffered from panic attacks on stage. During the concert, was like I can't play anymore. Yeah, but as a guitar player, it's great. John Silver left the band or was kicked out. Oh no, it was kicked out because the band was like, hey, we have to move on. I mean, we have to find another drummer. And a guy called John Mayo took his place. And to me, this drummer shines on this album. It's a really great drummer. Rest in peace, by the way. Yes, I already say from Genesis Civilization, The Serpent was like the and a couple other songs with such like I mean, in the wilderness. I mean, the album had just some songs that sorry say just has some little things that remind us of the Genesis. This Trespass really is the first Genesis album. I mean, with their sound
good. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a brilliant album, and Trespass, as I said, reminds me of the first. I mean, it's the really first Genesis album. Because the sound, this is where Genesis comes to.
It's a masterpiece.
No cut me off, bitch. Yes, it's a masterpiece. I already know. Don't spoil the other thing. Trespass, yes. I already say it's the first Genesis album because all the elements are in this album, all the great Genesis elements. So first song, Looking for Someone. What do you think about Looking for Someone?
Great one.
Absolutely, by far the best.
One of my favorite.
Yes.
This one.
Would say probably my favorite vocal performance on the Peter Gabriel is done in this album.
I agree with you.
What do you think about the song? Oh, brilliant song, 10 out of 10, absolutely. What do you think about White Mountain?
Another great one.
Great one, absolutely. I love. If you know this, Ornella Vanoni did a in Italian cover called Gioco senza età, something like that. Yeah, in Italy, Genesis during the 70s were like the biggest band of all time, and still today they are highly regarded now in our country, in Italy. I mean, first song, I don't have the CD here. I have the box set of my own. Was Vision of Ventures. What do you think about Vision of Ventures?
Good.
I love this song. So I love the chorus. I love the epic ending.
Chorus is very great.
What do you think about Stagnation?
Look, I don't really love this song too much.
Oh, I love
probably my less favorite.
Oh, I think you are the only one on the planet who think this is the worst song on the album. No, I don't think. I mean, this song was like an groovy because when I first heard this song, I didn't remember a single note after I heard the Stagnation. It's a song that I mean, this whole album is if you listen to this album for the first time, it's a really huge problem. When you first hear it for the first time, you're like all the song except for one song, The Knife. All the songs sounds like the same song. They're nothing new. Nothing really original about this album. I mean, they're just 5 great pastoral songs and one epic motherfucking rocker. I mean, so Stagnation. When I first heard it, as I already say, I do not remember a single note after a couple of minutes. But Stagnation rules, absolutely. Not one of my favorites, probably my second least favorite for least favorite. But who gives a fuck? It's still a perfect 10 out of 10. What do you think about Dusk?
Really good.
Dusk. If you put me guns in my head, if you point me a bazooka on my balls, and also
another one,
and two bazooka on each of my balls, I will probably say kill me. This is not the least favorite. I mean, this is the only Genesis album that I can pick a least favorite song. I love all those songs. But yeah, since I don't want to, since if I died and I really don't want to die, I will say with really, really difficult. This hurts me so bad, but Dusk will be my least favorite, and I still adore this song. 10 out of 10. I love Peter Gabriel's voice. A little more than Looking for Someone. No, they're tied. What do you think about Dusk?
For me, it sounds good. And Gabriel's voice.
Oh, as always. Definitely my top 5 favorite singers of all time. And now, what I think, and other than retarded, a stupid, and a motherfucker, that will disagree with me, this is the best song on the album. The Knife. What do you think about this song?
Great one.
The best song on this album.
Absolutely.
No one say by far, but yeah, it's the best song on this album.
Another one of my favorite of this album.
And which is your favorite song on this album?
Looking for Sun.
Oh, my second favorite. This would be Looking for Spawn. My second favorite. The Knife is such a fucking masterpiece, and to me, this is when the band finally gets home. I mean, The Knife is really the first classic Genesis song. Another thing that you need to say, compared to the old tracks, The Knife sounds really out of place. Because as I already say, the first 5 songs are like pastoral, mellow, with some great drumming and some amazing keyboards by my favorite keyboard player of all time, Tony Banks. And the Knife is a really hard rock, almost kinda, I don't wanna say metal, but it definitely has some also metal and also power metal themes on it. And it's an amazing song. Probably no, I won't say my top 10, but definitely my top 15, almost my top 10. So, in conclusion, From Just Revelation gets an 8 out of 10, and I have to say one thing: each time I listen to the album, I like it more and more and more and more. It's not an album that I really listen to a lot, but when I listen, like at least do something like two times or that. I mean, once in a month or once for each 2 months. It's an album that's it's enjoyable, not great, and Trespass is an album that I listen a lot, and I always
for me the first album is good.
Not great. It's good, but not great.
Not great.
Trespass is a masterpiece.
Trespass,
Yeah, definitely.
One of my favorite albums.
Oh yes, it's definitely my top 5. My number 5. And Trespass, as they say, gets a 10 also, or is it? Anyway, gets a 10 out of 10. I listen to this album a lot, and each time that I listen to this album, it's always fresh and kicks my balls every time. And also, as I already say, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Anyway, I also said that I don't remember if I said this, but I will tell you again. When I first said Trespass, it really didn't do too much for me. I was like, man, that's the weakest album of the classic period. In fact, I even thought that Chocolate Tail and Winter Wandering were better than Trespass. But Trespass in the last year really grew on me. I think it's one of the best Genesis albums. So what an amazing way to say goodbye to Anthony Phillips, because after Trespass was done, he left the band to pursue a solo career with his first album that I highly recommended, called The Geese and the Ghost. Really great album, but really mellow. You can hear all his influence on this album. I mean, if you take Trespass, it's very much. If you take Trespass as an album, it's very much the Anthony Phillips solo album, because Geese and the Ghost sounds like a lot of Trespass. 10 out of 10 both albums, but it's a very mellow album. If you want to listen to a mellow album, get this one, unless you want to kill yourself. So this was the first part of the review. Now I'll see you next time with the 5 albums. No, I mean we haven't the time to review all the 5 albums. I see you next time, at least with Nursery Crime and Foxtrot. With the next album, the classic lineup finally come. See you next time with Nursery Crime. Goodbye.
Stay tuned.